Welcome to the Investor Financing Podcast, where we interview real estate investors and lenders so you can learn all the secrets to getting your projects funded and scale your portfolio. Learn about fix and flip loans, BRRRR financing, rental, fix to rent, commercial, multifamily bridge loans, business loans, and so much more. And now, your host, Beau Eckstein.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Investor Financing Podcast. And I'm your host, Beau Eckstein. And today we're going to talk about something that's better than preferred equity. And preferred equity basically goes into the capital stack for the sponsor. You got senior debt, right? You got your bank, and then maybe you have that you don't have enough equity raised, so then you're looking for pref equity in the past, right? So then maybe another 15% or 20% of the capital stack would be preferred equity. So maybe the bank lends 60 or 65% of cost, and then pref equity would be another 20% or so, and then sponsor or borrower equity would be 20%. Well, pref equity typically is costly. It could be 12%, 10%, 15%. Kind of depends on the sponsors and the project itself. But in the past, that was kind of like the options for these developers looking to do some construction projects is they would get some pref equity, including the equity they raised to, complete the capital stack.
You're listening to the Investor Financing Podcast. We'll be right back after this break. Are you looking for funding? Are you getting frustrated trying to find a lender? Visit investorfinancingpodcast.com and click the Get Funding button. Complete the simple form and schedule a free phone consultation with one of our placement specialists. We have a proprietary directory of funding partners that can help you get the funding you need. It's fast and easy to explore the options available for your specific needs. Don't wait. Visit investorfinancingpodcast.com and get connected.
Well, what I want to talk to you today is a better option, depending if your project's in a state where there's legislation passed for PACE. And PACE is Property Assessed Clean Energy. And it uniquely breaks down long-standing barriers to energy efficiency. So it was passed, bills were passed in certain markets, in certain states, to allow for building improvements to be funded by this program. And so so essentially this program funds through tax assessments up to roughly 20% of a construction budget, and it funds the green type improvements, lighting, plumbing, sometimes the shell of a building, sometimes resiliency products. If it's in Florida, for example, it could be a hurricane, shutters and so forth. So really what PACE was designed for was to fund development and redevelopment of properties. But the advantage really to the developer is, of course, that they're now building a healthier product and less carbon footprint, but also they can get higher leverage with less cost, which is what every developer is looking for, right? So now instead of the pref equity, you're looking at PACE, which could be anywhere from 15 to 30 years of amortization. We commonly see them around 20 to 25, but each state is different on the rules, and each kind of local legislation for each county and city could be different. And they're trying to pass so it's kind of uniform throughout every state, but right now it's not. And some states are more liberal about what you can include in the budget, but I'd like to say usually it's somewhere around 20% of the construction budget is kind of the components that can be financed through the CPace assessment. And so essentially, if you're looking at the capital stack, you can go out and get bank debt of, say, 60 or 65, which is important, especially right now, as we're in COVID, and COVID's actually, we're somewhere around 7-8 months in, and the other day was like the highest amount of COVID cases, right? So it's going to be around for a while, and this is kind of forcing banks to be more conservative because people don't know what's happening and so forth. So prior to COVID, we were getting 75 and sometimes 80% of costs with banks. They're being very aggressive, and now you're looking at 50, 60, maybe 65 at best. So right now, PACE is huge in the multifamily construction space and the hospitality space because there's not much high leverage product right now. And relative to pref equity, it's the costs a lot better. It's longer. It's a longer amortized product, and there's so many advantages to it. So I really appreciate you jumping on, and we're going to do some more updates about PACE in the future. Thank you and have a great day.
Thanks for listening to the Investor Financing Podcast. For show notes and useful resources, please visit investorfinancingpodcast.com. For questions or comments, email info@investorfinancingpodcast.com. If you enjoy our show, please share it with your network. Until next time.